In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to add your own patterns to your silhouette library to use as a pattern fill for your fonts or designs. We're going to learn how to add patterns to your silhouette library for Basic Edition and Designer Edition and above are different. So we will have two different versions in the same tutorial. Now, your supplies list that you're going to need for this tutorial is obviously your Silhouette Studio software. You're going to need things like digital papers, background or wallpaper patterns, fabric patterns, glitter patterns. Now, you can easily go to Google and type in free digital papers. You can type in background papers. You can type in glitter patterns or glitter backgrounds and go to images, and you will find a plethora of different backgrounds that you can click on and save to different folders on your hard drive. Now, what we're going to do first is we are going to learn how to do it for Basic Edition. Now, with Basic Edition, it works a little different than if you had Designer Edition and above. So, how you would add and use patterns if you have Silhouette Studio Basic Edition is what we're going to do right now. So, if you have Silhouette Studio Basic Edition, this means that you have Silhouette Studio that you downloaded when you got your Silhouette machine, and you've not made any upgrades. You have not went to Designer Edition, Designer Plus, or Business Edition. You have no bells or whistles. You just have the basic Silhouette Studio software. What you would do is you would go ahead and you'd find different patterns on Google. So here, I just looked up glitter background paper. I went to images, and as you see here, there are different types of papers that you see, or backgrounds here. Now, something like this where it has like shimmer like coming down and then a glitter, then you can't really see it. You don't want anything like that. Of course, you don't want your paper packs here. These are not going to work. You don't want anything like this. You want clean pieces of background paper or backgrounds, wallpapers, digital papers. That is going to make it a whole lot simpler. So we're going to use this blue one here. What I would do is I would right click and I would choose open in a new tab. Okay, in here in the new tab, I have the blue glitter background. As you can see, it is very clear, and we can use this for our designs. So from here, I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose save image as. So when I save image as, my file explorer or my save as folder is going to come up, and it's going to ask me, where do I want to save it? Well, obviously I've already got a whole lot of glitter saved here, and I'm going to rename this as dark blue glitter because it's darker than a blue that I already have in here, and I'm just going to click save. So always make sure that you have your patterns labeled in a separate folder. So I have a folder for glitter, stripes, like if it's from a certain designer, I will have their names. Just that way you can keep everything separated and you know what is what. So I'm going to go ahead and click save, and now we go back to Silhouette Studio. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to go to library, and then right here where it says local user, and then you have fonts, and then you have library. You're going to click on library, then you're going to right click and you're going to choose new folder. Then for new folder, you're going to name it patterns, and then just hit enter. Now, once you have your patterns folder named, you're going to right click and then you're going to click on new folder. Now we're going to make subfolders. This is going to keep all of your patterns in subfolders such as glitter, stripes, dots. Say you have fabric patterns, so on and so forth. You can keep them separated. So we're going to name this subfolder glitter, and then we're going to hit enter. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to go up to file, we're going to go to library, and we're going to go all the way down to import to library. Then when our file explorer comes up, you're going to look for the folder in which you saved whichever pattern that you saved. So if you saved it in a little folder called glitter patterns or stripes, look for that folder that you saved it in. Mine is already up, so the file that we need is the dark blue glitter that we just saved. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to hit OK. Now, as you see, my dark blue glitter is here, and what it did is it imported it to my user designs. It did not import it into my subfolder for patterns under glitter, and that's okay. So what we're going to do is, as you can see, the dark blue glitter that we just imported has a grayish box around it. That means it's selected. So we're going to click on it, hold down your mouse button, and we're just going to drag it over to the glitter sub pattern box. Now, if we click on the patterns glitter subfolder, now you see your blue glitter pattern. So when you import it into your local user, it's automatically going to go into your user design. But you will go in there and you will select whichever one you want. If you need to select more than one, you will select your first one, hold down Control, and then you will select each one that you need. So if you need several glitter that you have in your user designs, hold down Control, select each one, let off a Control, and just drag them over to the subfolder that you need. Make sure your patterns folder is open so you can see your subfolders. Now to close your subfolder, you just click on the main folder and it will close it right up. If you see a plus sign in your folder, that means you have subfolders in there. So we click on the plus sign and we see there's a glitter, and the glitter that we have is dark blue. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to jump back over on the design page and we're going to go right here. I have a text right here written out, basic edition, and then I have a design of a heart with a keyhole. So in order to use this pattern, basic edition can't simply go to the fill panel and use the fill pattern section to use the glitter. Can't do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the text. So I've selected my text. So you'll write out your text and then make sure that it's selected. Okay. Go to your library. Now we only have dark blue glitter, which is what we saved. It is already selected. Make sure whichever one you want to use is selected. Now what we're going to do is come right back over to design and watch this. Now my text is filled with that dark blue glitter. Okay, I'm going to jump right over here and turn off this cut line. Okay, now, although in Basic Edition, we cannot use the pattern fill drag and drop to bring in our own pattern, we can still go to our fill panel, come over here to the third selection, which is fill the pattern of your choice, come down to the advanced options. You'll do this after you put in your glitter that you want, or whatever pattern that you choose on your own. You can come down here to angle, scale, and pan. Now with a scale, once you watch my glitter, you see how it's getting smaller? I can do my glitter smaller, and then I can also do it larger. So let's say we want a chunkier glitter in our text, or maybe we want a more fine glitter. We can still utilize these pattern tools down here in the bottom. So we can angle it how we want to. We can scale it. You can still utilize these advanced options, even though with Basic Edition, you can't drag and drop your own patterns into the library. So you have plenty of options. Save glitter pattern, save stripe, save polka dot, look up free digital papers, look up chevron prints. Do not let having Basic Edition stop you from adding your personal touches to your pieces. Now, let's go back and recap how to add your own glitter patterns to your library with Basic Edition. So we're going to go back to library, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, we're going to go to Library, Import to Library. I'm just going to choose one in here. Let's go to glitter wallpaper here. It's an ombre effect, and we're going to click OK. Now remember, when this pulls it in, it's going to automatically go to user design, but we want glitter patterns to go into our patterns folder, but into the subfolder of glitter. So we're going to select it and drag it over into the glitter subfolder under local user. Remember, it has to be under local user, part of your library. Now, after you've drug it into your glitter subfolder, click on it and you see it here. Now, we already have our glitter downloaded. Let's say you already have 20 or 30 glitters, in your folder, and you're wanting to add a glitter to your design. What you would do is you would choose your design, go to your library, go in your wherever your patterns are, find what pattern you want to use. So we're wanting to use this ombre looking glitter. Select it, click on it. Do not double click. You don't have to right click and choose anything. Just select it, go back to design. And because you already had your design selected before you went to library and chose your pattern, when you come back to design, your design is going to be filled with your glitter. Now I'm going to come over here and turn off the line color, and looky there. We have a heart with an ombre glitter from a glitter pattern that we downloaded and saved to our computer and uploaded and imported to our silhouette library. We can come to the fill panel and utilize the angle and scale, but we know that we can make this bigger. We can make it a little bit smaller. We could angle it if we wanted to. You just have that option. So I just wanted to show you that even with Basic Edition, adding your own patterns to your designs is an option, and you can still have that personal touch that you want to give to your items for your customers or even for yourself. If you have any questions on Silhouette Studio Software Basic Edition, adding your own patterns, please feel free to let me know. Now we're going to learn how to add and use patterns if you have Silhouette Studio Designer Edition and above. If you have skipped ahead to get to the Designer Edition and above part of this tutorial, we will go back over how to search for patterns and save them. So what you're going to do is, if you're looking for different patterns such as glitter patterns, stripes, say you have a certain fabric, you want to do a fabric in HTV type of applique, let's use the glitter again like we did in the first part of this tutorial. Say your customer wants a name or a decal in a certain color of glitter. Okay, let's go through here what you would do. What I only thing I did was typed in glitter background paper, and of course you see all different kinds of glitter come up. You don't want anything like right here. You can see where some of the glitter is out of focus, and then you see some that is in focus. This is not going to work. Obviously, glitter papers like this, because this is a glitter paper pack, this would not work. So you couldn't just simply do this. You could go to Etsy and purchase the paper pack. That is another option. But what you could also do is just go through here and find clean paper packs. You want to make sure that you don't have any writing on the image and it is a clean image. We're going to choose this turquoise glitter. So I'm going to right click and choose open link in new tab. Okay, so here is our turquoise glitter. While we have it open this new tab, we're just going to do a quick scan, make sure everything looks good, there's no writing, and it is clear enough for us to use for a background pattern. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose Save As. Okay, and then your File Explorer will come up and you'll just find the folder that you want to save your patterns in, or you will make a new one. I've already got one made, so I'm going to save this. Now I can go ahead and close that tab. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and go back to Silhouette Studio. Okay, now that we're back in Silhouette Studio, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your library. Okay, once you are in your library, if you will notice on the left-hand side, when you go down, you'll find your email address for your account. Then you will find Fonts, Library, Patterns, and then your Recycle bin. We're going to click on the Patterns folder, and then whenever your Patterns folder is selected, you will know that it is selected because you will have sort of a dark gray line across it. I already have 10 patterns in my Patterns folder. That is why you see this over here on the right-hand side. Yours, more than likely, unless you've added patterns already, will have nothing in them. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to learn to add subcategories for our patterns. So with our patterns folder selected, we're going to right click and then we're going to choose new folder. And what we're doing now, like I said, is we're adding subfolders. Now I've already got subfolders here. I have digital paper, I have fabric, where I keep like fabric swatches, glitter for glitter papers. I have Scout and Rose for Scout and Rose digital papers and patterns, and then I have stripe papers. Now for this folder, because I haven't made one yet, I'll go ahead and name it Polka Dots. I'm not going to use that one right now, but I'll go ahead and make that to show you. And then after you type in the name, just hit enter. Okay, now what we need to do is go on my computer and find the folder that contains the glitter patterns. So what I will do is I will open up my File Explorer, which I already have open, and I will find the folder with my glitter patterns. So I know that it's in 2018 Silhouette Files under a subfolder called Glitter Patterns. Now I'm going to find just an empty white space I'm going to hold down the left mouse button, and I'm just going to drag it across and select every single glitter pattern because I need to drag them all into the glitter pattern subfolder. Holding down the left mouse button and just selecting on any one of the selected glitter patterns, I'm just going to drag every single one of those patterns over to the right side of the Silhouette library, which will be the glitter subfolder for patterns. And do you see how it says 24 papers in the square box, and then underneath it has an arrow and it says move? That means I'm going to put 24 papers into the glitter subfolder right now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the left mouse button, and when I do that, my papers will start loading into my glitter papers subfolder for pattern. Depending on how many you're loading in there, this will take a minute. I'm going to go ahead and minimize my File Explorer, and as you see here, each glitter pattern has a loading bar in front of it, and depending on how many you have, this will take a couple of minutes. Okay, now as you see, all of our glitter backgrounds have been dragged and dropped in the patterns folder in the subfolder of glitter. We're going to go back to our design section of Silhouette Studio, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on this tab where we are going to use our patterns. To access patterns, what you do is you go over to your fill panel. And if you notice your fill panel, you have 3 boxes. The first one is to fill with color, the second one is to fill with gradient, and the third one is to fill with a pattern. So we're going to choose the third one to fill with a pattern. And if you will notice, the first set of patterns is what already comes loaded on your Silhouette Studio software. But if you scroll down, you will see where I've created subfolders in my Silhouette library with a digital paper. If you have made subfolders under your patterns folder in your library, your subfolders will show in your patterns section of the fill panel, and they will show up in alphabetical order. So I have a digital paper subfolder, and then we have the fabric subfolder, then we have the glitter that we just did subfolder, and then go on down, and then we have patterns, and then the Scout and Rose folder with their digital papers and patterns, and then the stripe. Now, as you've seen, I had added the subfolder polka dot. It is still there, but because I have no patterns in that subfolder, it will not show up here in the patterns section until I add polka dot pattern or something in that subfolder. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to come right here to the glitter section, and I've got a text typed out, and then I have a shape. Okay, I'm going to select on my text, and I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to choose the turquoise glitter that we had downloaded, and as you see, it filled my text with that glitter pattern. And I'm going to go ahead and come over here to line color, and I'm just going to choose transparent, so that way we just see the glitter. Okay, well that looks cute, and that's good, but let's say we want to let's just say we want to have a little bit more control over what the glitter looks like. So you're going to choose the advanced options, and here you will have several different options that you can give you more control over your pattern. So we have mirror pattern, which really doesn't pertain to like your glitter patterns. If we mirrored, we would still get the same pattern. The light might shine more on one side than the other. You have your aspect ratio, then you have your rotate pattern. You have 4 different directions that you can do that here. Then you have your angle, where we can just slide it back and forth. And if you'll notice the glitter as I'm sliding, it moves the angle of the glitter, which really, with your solid colors or your glitter especially, really doesn't give it that much of a difference. Now, down below angle, you see scale. Now, this is going to make a lot of difference. So you'll see if we slide the slider up, it gives us more of a chunky looking glitter. And then if we slide the slider back down, it gives us more of a fine or an extra fine glitter look. Okay. Now down here on pan, if you select pan, you'll be given this arrow in the middle, and it's going to give you the option of taking this middle arrow circle in the middle and just moving your design back and forth until you find the perfect placement. Now, like I said, with the glitter patterns or maybe your, polka dots, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. The pan is only going to control your pattern. So your text is still going to stay still, or your shape is still going to stay still, but you can control or move your pattern to place it where you want to. Just remember that when you select pan, you'll be given a circle with a 4-way arrow, and you will need to select it. You will hold it down, and that's when you would move your pattern back and forth. Okay, let's say you have this glitter here and you wanted to change it to another color, so we would change it there, but you still want to, make different adjustments. You could go through and, make your adjustments for that one. So just, have fun with your patterns. And like I said, you can make, with a glitter, you can make it a chunky glitter, you can make it a fine glitter, just whatever your preference is. Okay, now down here on the design, although we didn't download any fabric swatches or anything, with the fabric, sometimes I do infant nightgowns, toddler shirts, onesies, and the customer wants an applique. So it's a fabric applique with an HTV border to keep the fabric from fraying, which we will be doing a tutorial on really soon. And they want a certain fabric. I can normally go online to like Walmart.com, fabric.com, just different places that I get fabric from, and find the fabric that I either already have or fabric that I'm going to purchase or that they want. And I can find a swatch of that fabric online. So if I can find that fabric online without, words written on it, watermarks, whatever, I will save that swatch and I will download it into my fabric section of my patterns folder so that I can do a mock-up of what it's going to look like with the border for the HTV, and that way they can see if really that's what they want, but without me having to waste fabric or HTV and then them not liking it because that's what they had chosen, and then they changed their mind. Oh, well, those colors really didn't go together. I wish I would have seen it first. I can do that. So that's one option whenever I say, I have a folder with fabric swatches in it. That's why. So I have my heart selected here, and I'm just going to choose one of the little fabrics that I have. Now here's a little boy fabric that I just did a applique with. So with my design selected, I'm going to go up here, and for my cut line, my border is going to be red, my HTV border, but I want to go ahead and thicken up the line so that it can represent the red HTV that, let's say, that the customer wanted around this applique. So I'm going to thicken that line to 6. They come back and say, we don't really like the red. Can we try a navy blue border, maybe a little bit thicker? We saved it as a mock-up, so all we have to do is go in here and change the line color. So they wanted a thicker border, so let's do 10. So we send that off to her, and she's like, I like that better. Just know with your pattern that you can make subfolders, name your subfolders, so that if you have designer edition and above, you can come to your pattern section. You will easily be able to find each section of what you are needing. I hope with today's tutorial that you have learned how to easily add and use your own patterns in Silhouette Studio Library, whether you have Basic Edition or Designer Edition and above. If you have any comments, questions, and or concerns, please feel free to leave a comment below, or you can message me on Facebook at our Crafty Chaotic Life Facebook group. If you are not a member of our Facebook group, come on over to Facebook and look up our Crafty Chaotic Life and join us. We are building a nice little crafting community where we all help each other, and you are free to ask questions, get help anytime that you need it. If there's a tutorial that you would like to see done, please feel free to let me know. I'll be glad to get that on our list. And I hope that you will join me next time for another tutorial. And until next time, happy crafting!